Okay, before we get into this week's review, it has occurred to me that maybe I should be posting links to these audio dramas so you can find them way easier. You don't have to go to Ecosia or Google or DuckDuckGo or whatever you use nowadays to search for crap and look for it yourself. I'm going to make it way easier for you from now on, and I'm going to include links to the various audio dramas if I can find them and if they exist, and I will be putting them down here in the audio. No, I'll be putting them down there in the description of each video if such links exist. And I will also be retroactively going back and adding links to the 2 or 3 audio drama reviews I've already done. So by the time you're watching this, there will already be links on those previous videos, and as long as I'm shilling, hey, why don't you check those out too? I mean, I got a whole playlist on my channel, and if you like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, you might actually have access to that playlist. Actually, I think even if you aren't subscribed, you can have access to the playlist, but, you know, I'd appreciate the like and the subscribe. Just saying.
Tonight, Billy, and you.
So, this week in audio drama, we will be covering Under the Shroud, created by Ian Humphrey and Robots Radio! I'm sorry, I just like saying the thing. I kind of feel like I owe Ian Humphrey to a degree, like, not for anything he did personally for me, although he did follow me on Twitter, and that's always a plus. But more just for the fact that he opened my eye and he showed me, through no fault or favor of his own, he kind of showed me the world of audio dramas in general. Like, I always knew audio dramas existed, and I don't just mean like ye old-time radio plays, but like actual honest-to-God audio dramas that are floating around on the internet. But I never really had a whole lot of interest in them until I checked out Under the Shroud. And when I initially checked out Under the Shroud all those months ago, I kind of thought to myself, well, I mean, he did follow me on Twitter. The least I can do is check out his show, right? I mean, worst case scenario, I kill a whole evening of boredom. But honestly, now that I have checked out Under the Shroud, I'm actually really glad that I did. Both because of the world it introduced me to, and because of the story that Under the Shroud itself possesses, because this show right here, this is one of the best audio dramas I think I've heard in a long time. The story of Under the Shroud follows the day-to-day life of one Corin Black, no relation, a cab driver who deals with supernatural clients, your vampires, your werewolves, your goblins, and the like, etc., etc. All the while, he finds himself getting involved in more crazy, elaborate, chaotic nonsense, like having to deal with the tax season of the supernatural world, getting involved in a nationalist clique led by the villainous McTeer. Ooh, there's even an episode where he deals with lesbian were-rats. I'm not even joking about that. That's actually a thing. That's just This is kind of the problem I've encountered with this particular show, because there is so much here that I want to tell you about, but I feel like I'd be doing you a grave disservice by just outright telling you what happens. I mean, some people aren't as picky about spoilers as others, but honestly, this is one of those things where I just don't want to spoil it for you. I just want you to check this show out, because this show right here is one of the best. I don't think there is a single bad episode. I don't think there's a single bad performance. Like, everybody brings their A game to this. Like, as much as I gush about Emperor Pigs, Pizza, and Cigs, even I have to admit that KT was probably my least favorite character in that show. But there's no KT in Under the Shroud. There's no character with any sort of bad reading that I could find personally. And if there is a bad reading, it kind of went over my head, because honestly, just, it wasn't a terrible read that stood out, you know what I'm saying? There is pretty much nothing I can even nitpick about this show, unless you're one of those guys who hates main characters who use drugs. And believe me, Corin Black uses a lot of drugs, but I'm not bothered by that sort of thing, you know? Not everybody can cope with just beer or general optimism, you know? There are those few people who find themselves getting involved in really nasty substances and can't find their way out, and that's just reality. And in the case of Under the Shroud, it's this sort of enhanced heroin, enhanced by sorcery kind of stuff, known as Dash, and I'm just gonna let you listen. He does a better job of explaining it than I could. I could go on, but outside of the fact that I'd be giving away like 90% of the story, there is also the possibility that I would just be padding out this review and I'd just be gushing all over the place about how much I love this show. It is worth your time. 4 hats out of 4. And that's going to do it. Not just for this review, but for all the reviews that I had planned initially. Next week and beyond, I will be tackling all of the audio dramas that you people requested I check out. Because you people requested a lot of them. Some of you even make your own audio dramas and you sent them to me and you said, hey, you should check this out. Although maybe you didn't outright say it, but the fact that you run an audio drama and you followed me on Twitter or left a link in my comment box kind of told me, hey, maybe I should check this out for my show. I got an audio drama. It's worth looking into, right? So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next, I don't know, month or two. So I hope you enjoy the adventure, because this has been one of the more interesting things I have done for this channel, I think, and I'm really looking forward to keeping this going, and it's going to be a long while before I actually have to go out of my way to find audio dramas to review for the channel. And I thank everybody for all the comments and for all the requests and all the suggestions that I should check out. And as always, I'm still open to requests, so if you have an audio drama you think I might like, or even one I might hate, be feeling free. Oh, that's going in the outtake reel. Feel free to leave it in the comment box down there, and I will be more than happy to check it out. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and favorite this channel, and check out the playlist to see other reviews I've done, and the channel in general for all the Tommy Teal Hat goodness.